Hello everybody, this is Hammer Striker here. A little while back, right before everything kind of got messy, Mantis sent us their latest version of their shooting performance system. It's called the X10 Elite. That's what's in this box. They had previously sent us their very first generation. It was just called the Mantis X. Basically what it does is you attach it to a pistol, rifle, or even the X10 can do archery, and it shows you what you're doing wrong and how to fix it. So one of the things you'll find out about this is if you got a delicate little ego, this isn't the tool for you, because it's going to show you what you're doing wrong. But that's a good thing. It's going to show you how to fix it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out of the box. It comes packaged very well. I'm going to have to bring this over towards me to do it because it sits in the box very, very, very strongly. It's definitely not going to fall apart in transit. So once you get the box open, you're going to get this, and you're going to get this little quick start card. And the quick start card starts with step one of installing their app, which is this app here, which is a free app. And really, honestly, that's what all you need to do. You install the app on your phone. The app's free, and here's the device. And I'll get to that in a second. I'll show you how to connect it to your phone and everything else. But it comes with all the accessories you need. The charging cable. It comes with a barrel clamp, and that's new for the X10 series. So that if you have a rifle, especially like an old military rifle like that M1A that we have, that doesn't have a rail on it, and here's these rubber pads that you can use to size the barrel clamp. So you can use this on pretty much anything. So I'm going to set all of this aside. It's not necessary for what we're going to do. And we have the device. The device is pretty simple. It has a little lever that pulls back a clamp, and that allows you to slide it onto the Picatinny rail if you're using a gun with a rail or with the barrel clamp. It's got at the front of it a charging port and a button. That's really kind of simple to use. Couple notes: the light, which is right here, changes color. It's either red, orange, or green depending on the state of things, the mode you're in, or when you're charging, the state of the battery. This one works a little different than the very oldest one, where the light at the end of charging doesn't turn green, it just goes off. So when you plug it in, the light will be red or orange. And one thing I noted on this, the light is very bright, and if you look at it from the side, kind of like this, the orange will look green. You have to look at it head on. So don't make the mistake of looking at it from the side, seeing green, and think it's fully charged and heading off to the range. You might get an unpleasant surprise. But to use it, all you do is push this button in the middle, and now the light is flashing. On my phone, I'm going to push on their app the connect button. And it will connect to the device, and you're ready to go. Now what I'm going to do with the app is, you saw in the opening sequence I was using basically what they call open training, which is this option here. I'm not going to bore you by going through every single menu option in the app, but I just want to show you the highlights. You've got open training, shot timer, benchmark, timed benchmark, surprise break, primary hand only, support hand only, reload drills, hostage taker drills, cadence drills. So it's got a number of built-in drills, along with some courses, advanced marksmanship and basic, which kind of leads you through it. This thing can do smoothness, consistency, recoil analysis, which the X10 can do, holster draw analysis, which I'm actually going to go to the green screen and show you an example of that. So I'll cut to that and then I'll come back.
Stand by. Stand by.
So now what you can see here is I did 2 runs, so it gives me the total average basically. Gives me my first run, my second run, and it gives you the various stages in timing through that. Now this setup that I've got here with the pocket holster stuffed in my belt and the gun up kind of high is not optimal. But if you had a proper setup with the gun that you intend to use with this, this can help you tune it in. To the best of my knowledge, this is the only tool on the market that can do any kind of analytics on your holster draw. You can videotape yourself, you can do time trials and stuff like that, but to try to figure out where you're spending your time, this is the only thing out there that'll do this. So I do want to spend some more time with this once we can get to the outdoor range. But right now we're in the part of Florida where there's really 3 temperatures: hot, unbelievably hot, and then hot. So this this should be a very useful tool. It can also do multi-target, run and gun, which would be popular in a lot of the various competitions, and rapid fire. So the X10 has advanced quite a bit over the other ones, the original one that we had, the very first one. But if you've got one of the original ones, it'll still work with the app. They've got a couple flavors of this. What I'm holding in my hand is the X10 Elite. It's the top of the line. It's as good as it gets in their lineup currently. They've also got an X2 and X3, which do dry fire or live fire, but not both. And they're a little more limited, but they're also less expensive. What's in my hand is $250. For $100 or $169, you can get one of the lower setting ones. And they've got an X7, which is optimized for shotguns, which is about $200. This will do shotguns as well. Now, my original goal had been to show you this right when it first came out, but unfortunately there was a number of limitations that were in place that prevented us from getting this thing done, mostly all the goings-on that were taking place recently. So I wasn't able to get to the outdoor range with it, wasn't able to put it on a rifle, and a lot of the things I want to do. So there may be some follow-up videos where I kind of play around with this. But if I do the open training, you can notice you can do live fire. I've got it set for live fire. I can do dry fire, or I can do CO2. That's for the CO2 simulators. You can probably also likely use that with various air guns. Back to live fire. You can do right and left hand, and you can mount it forward and backward. And it's going to take a second to calibrate when you choose the difference. And basically forward and backward, when it's mounted on the pistol, whether the port is facing forward or backward. It's just how the gyro is set up, and so that it gives you the right answer. That it doesn't tell you that you're breaking your wrist up when you're really breaking your wrist down, or pulling left when you're really pulling right, that type of thing. All it does is allows the on-screen information to be accurate. If I go to the history, I can take one of these open trainings, and you'll see my average score. I'll pick this one here. And you can see what it was doing, what I was doing as I went through the process of aiming. It'll give you a little more text description. So it's a very useful training tool. And one of the things you're going to find is, I don't care how good you think you are or how good you actually are, this thing's going to find defects that you can fix to get even better. I usually pull decent groups. I can pull pretty good groups. But my numbers are coming in the 70s and 80s. You'll find somebody that's newer, they're going to be in the 10s and 20s. And you can also set up which gun that you're using it with. Now that doesn't necessarily affect how it functions. That just allows you, when you're later looking at it, to see what you were doing. So I was using live fire on a Glock 19X, which actually I had that set incorrectly because I was using this FNX9 when I had it out. And I picked this gun on purpose because for whatever reason, I don't get along well with this. This gun is one that I have a difficult time shooting well. So I picked one on purpose that I don't necessarily shoot as well as some others, so we'd get some variety and dynamicness in the various outputs. And like you saw in the opening sequence, I had a couple of really good shots, I had a couple okay shots, and they kind of averaged out. This tool can save you a lot of money in training because you can dry fire train, but it also can save you the overall stress of trying to figure out, what am I doing wrong? You can videotape yourself, you can have a friend watch, but this thing can actually see down to the microsecond what's happening during the firing sequence. Are you doing something just before you pull the trigger? Are you doing something while you're pulling the trigger? Are you twisting the gun? Because what it's doing is it's watching how the gun is moving as you pull the trigger and as the gun fires. I'm just going to briefly go to the settings. You can see you can set where you're mounting it, mounting top or bottom, which is really for mostly bottom for pistols. Top, left, and right becomes into play with rifles, where some rifles will have a Picatinny rail goes all the way around. Forward or backward, what type of shot firing you're doing, the hand you're using, and whether it's on a rifle or a pistol. The more accurately you set these settings while you're using it, the more accurate the overall output's going to be. If you tell it that it's on the left side of a rifle and you're using a Glock 19 and it's underneath, it's going to work, but it's not going to say accurate things to you. When it tells you the diagnostics, it's not going to tell you the right things because you've set it up incorrectly. So to kind of sum up, what you've got here is a tool that, if you buy the top of the line one for $249, can really help you improve. And one of the things that it can take care of is you can go to the range and you can, quote, train, unquote, but you can train bad habits. So you can really do a really good job of reinforcing that bad thing you're doing with the trigger. This will kind of help show you that bad thing you're doing with the trigger, help you correct it. So whether you're a new shooter that doesn't want to learn bad habits, or whether you're an existing shooter that just wants to get better, this is a good tool for that. So I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to show you what it looks like mounted on a gun. Now this rail on this particular gun is a little bit twitchy, so it's not the device, it's the rail. Trying to get it to go on can be a bit of a handful. So there you go. So there I've got it mounted on a gun. And I'm going to go ahead and close the slide because of course I've got an unloaded gun. Now optimally I would push it a little further back, but you don't have to. And I've got the USB port facing the rear, so I just need to set this properly up in when I'm doing the device. And if I were to go to, let's say, dry fire training in here, so I'm going to go to open training, and I'm going to set it to dry fire, and start. I just grabbed the gun and pulled the trigger. Pushing, no follow through, because at this point I just got it sitting on the table. But if I were to get into a proper shooting stance, or let's say I went single action with it, I did really well with that because I didn't have to pull the trigger, and I'm only holding it one hand and I'm holding it my left hand. So you can see how well this can work even in dry fire mode. Now in dry fire mode, it works with a hammer gun, of course, because there's enough recoil, or not recoil necessarily, but impact. But it'll also work with most striker guns, or anything where it creates enough of a vibration that this can pick up to recognize your shot. And by the way, to correct myself, in single action I still had to pull the trigger, but I didn't have to pull it far. It was light. I didn't have to cock the hammer with the trigger. So it was just kind of a quick break, and you can see my score showed differently. If I put it in my right hand where I got a little bit stronger, I'm going to get a better score because I've got a better grip on it, and overall I'm able to even go through double action mode more smoothly. So overall, if you're looking for a training tool, this can actually be more effective than hundreds of rounds of ammo, and in some cases better than hundreds of rounds of ammo if you just keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again wrong. This will kind of help you stop doing that. So I thank Mantis for sending it to us. I'm sorry, you guys, that it took a while to get it to you. It's just kind of the circumstances we were faced with. And if you want to get a good training tool, whether you're new, experienced, or somewhere in between, or even if you're somebody that likes to take new shooters to the range, this can be helpful, showing them what they're doing wrong as you get started out. It's really a good choice. Anyway, before I sign out, you can get this right from their website. There are some retailers that carry it, but you can order it right from their website. I'll have a link to their website in our description. And if you like our videos, please share, subscribe, check us out on Facebook, Patreon, Twitter. We're kind of all over the place. And thank you.